Three AI giants: ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. But in 2026, only one truly dominates most use cases. The real answer might surprise you. So today, we're putting these AI tools to the test across writing, coding, reasoning, creativity, speed, and of course, real-world value to figure out which one is actually right for you. First, we'll do a quick overview of our three contenders. Then we're going to throw them into a head-to-head writing showdown, followed by a really tough coding and logic gauntlet. After that, we'll explore creativity, compare the practical stuff like speed and value, and then wrap it all up with a final verdict to help you choose the best AI for what you do. So, who are the main players on the field in 2026? Well, you've got OpenAI's ChatGPT, kind of the versatile OG of the group. Then there's Anthropic's Claude, the deep thinker and reasoner. And finally, Google's Gemini, the powerhouse that's integrated into everything. You have to understand, each one was built with a totally different philosophy, and that really shapes everything they're good at. Okay, this table really lays it all out, doesn't it? It shows how they've each carved out their own space. ChatGPT is your all-rounder, the Swiss Army knife for pretty much anything, thanks to its huge ecosystem of plugins. But then you have Claude and Gemini, and they're more like specialists. Look at that context window, 1 million tokens. That is an absolute game changer for deep analysis. Claude really leans into that for complex coding and reasoning, while Gemini uses it, plus its connection to Google Search and Workspace, to crush it at research and handling all sorts of media. All right, first up, let's talk about writing. This is what most people use these tools for every single day, right? From drafting a quick email to writing an entire video script. So let's see how they stack up. So when you need that perfect turn of phrase, or that really compelling call to action, or maybe just a well-structured article that doesn't sound like a robot wrote it, who do you turn to? This is a huge question for anyone who creates content. And the winner is ChatGPT. Yeah, for the widest range of creative and marketing tasks, it consistently delivers the most natural-sounding text. But, and this is a big but, Claude is an incredibly strong runner-up, especially when your writing needs a bit more depth and nuance. So why does ChatGPT take the crown here? Well, it just excels at sounding human. It's fantastic at mimicking specific styles and tones, which, as you know, is absolutely vital for marketing. Plus, being able to generate images with DALL-E right there in the chat makes it a one-stop shop. That said, if I were writing a really long technical paper or a deep analytical piece, I'd probably lean on Claude. Its thoughtful and consistent prose is often the better choice for that kind of work. All right, let's switch gears from the creative arts to the hard science of coding and complex logic. This is where we really push these models to see how well they can think, reason, and build things that actually work. For any developer watching, you know an AI assistant isn't just a fun toy anymore. It's a core part of your workflow. But the real question is, which one can you actually trust to refactor a messy old codebase, or debug a really tricky error, or even build a new feature from scratch? And this is where it gets really interesting, because in the world of coding, there is no single champion. It really depends on the job. GPT 5.2, it wins on raw performance benchmarks. It just solves more problems right out of the box. But if you're working with a massive, sprawling code base, Gemini's million-token context window is just unbeatable. And for those tasks that require really deep step-by-step logical thinking, that's Claude's home turf. So let's dig into why so many serious developers are choosing Claude for the heavy lifting. It's all about this concept called extended thinking. Basically, Claude takes the time to reason through a problem before it spits out an answer. This makes it incredibly reliable for untangling complex logic, refactoring code with precision, and even building autonomous agents that need to follow really intricate rules. It's less about being the fastest and more about being the most correct. Now, let's move beyond just text and code. The future of AI, as we're seeing, is multimodal. It has to understand and create with images, audio, and even video. So which of these tools is leading the charge on this new creative frontier? In this expanding universe of multimodal creativity, Gemini really takes the top spot. Now, don't get me wrong, ChatGPT is still a beast for brainstorming and generating images, but Gemini's native ability to work with a much wider range of media gives it a serious edge for those next-generation creative projects. So what's Gemini's secret weapon? Well, it's the only one of the three with native, high-quality video generation built right in. We're talking about VO. It doesn't just see images. It understands the content of video and audio and can even turn a static picture into a moving scene. You combine that with its real-time connection to Google Search for ideas and inspiration, and you've got an unbelievably powerful tool for any project that goes beyond just words on a page. All this power is great, but at the end of the day, practicality matters. So let's break down the user experience, the speed, and maybe most importantly, the value you actually get for your money. Okay, let's talk about the magic number. By 2026, the entire market has basically settled on about $20 a month. That's the standard price to get serious, premium access to these top-tier AI models. This is what gets you past those frustrating free tier limits and unlocks the most powerful versions of each platform. And as you can see here, all three of them cluster right around that $20 mark for their standard paid plan. That's your entry point for getting real work done. Where they really start to separate is in the premium tiers. These are built for heavy-duty professional use, and the prices jump way up, from $100 to even $250 a month for all the power you can handle. But here is a super important point about value, especially if you're looking at Gemini. That $19.99 AI Pro plan comes bundled with 2 terabytes of Google One storage. Now, that storage plan by itself costs about $10 a month. So if you're already a Google Drive user paying for storage, upgrading to get Gemini's advanced AI features effectively only costs you an extra $10. For anyone in the Google ecosystem, that is a fantastic deal. All right, we've covered writing, coding, creativity, and cost. Now it's time to put it all together. We need a clear, simple framework to help you make the right call for you. So after all of these comparisons, what's the bottom line? Which AI assistant really comes out on top? Well, as you've probably guessed by now, it's not quite that simple. The real question is, which one dominates for you? And this right here is the final takeaway. Your choice really has to be based on your personal workflow. It's pretty simple. Choose ChatGPT if you need that jack of all trades for daily tasks, creative writing, and you want that huge library of integrations. Choose Claude if your work involves deep technical problems, complex coding, or analyzing huge documents where you need absolute precision. And finally, choose Gemini if you live and breathe in Google's apps, you need cutting-edge research power, or you're starting to dive into video and multimodal creation. The smartest users don't ask which AI is best. They ask which AI is best for their workflow. And that's really the most important thing to remember. The debate isn't about crowning a single king, it's about finding the right tool for the job you need to do. It's all about matching the unique power of each AI to the specific needs of your work.